Very cool.
Good, yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Who's it starring?
Ben Affleck.
And what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Ben Affleck?
Affleck.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
That was something.
That was something.
That was something.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the On My Way podcast. My name is Rylee Bradford. I'm the new host of this podcast. Not true.
No, she's not.
Yeah.
I'm not, but
That would never happen.
okay. We're just gonna get this back to Andrew then.
Just kidding. Y'all, what's going on? We are here with the On My Way podcast, a podcast for young adults by young adults.
Let's go.
And
That's
we're here
us.
today, yes. We're here today with David McAtee.
Hey, guys. Good to be
Woo!
here. Good to
And
join the podcast.
once again with Rylee Bradford.
Hello.
Oh, hey Rylee, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. David, how are you?
I'm doing very well.
Doing
Very well.
good?
Never been on a podcast before.
This is your first
I've
time.
listened to lots of
newbie.
them, but never been on.
He's
so.
breaking his silence on podcasts.
Have you ever
That's
listened
right.
to On My Way podcast?
Of course.
Probably
Okay.
not. Podcast
lying.
debut for David McAtee. That's exciting. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Do you feel super official?
Superficial or super official?
Either one.
I think more super official.
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. The superficial comes later when everyone
try not
starts
to be
It's
that.
later in the
Yeah.
conversation.
That's actually a conversation we'll need to have with David another time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Off camera.
Yeah, off camera.
Off
off,
camera.
offline. Oh, man. It's good to be here with you guys today.
I'm excited.
It's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, I think so too. We are gonna have we got a couple segments today. We got a little happies and crappies coming. We have a little Rylee Brad's really bad movie review coming up
Let's
later.
go.
We do.
Got to run that back because Rylee Brad's back with us in the house today, and we have a little conversation about conversations.
Cool. I
Looking
like
forward to it.
conversations.
Yeah, and then we got a couple more things if we have time. But I'm stoked for today. So what's been going on in y'all's lives lately, David? What you been up to,
Lots, man.
Anything new happening in your life?
Well, about a month and a half ago, I got married.
Oh my word!
And so
He's
lots of
married,
new
ladies.
He
things.
did it.
Yeah, I did it. And it's been going awesome. Super great. It's fun. But that comes with a lot of adjustments and, just living with someone. I haven't lived with someone for quite a while. I've been by myself for a while. So,
Yep.
but it's been really good. Just learning how to be married and live with someone. So
Overall positive so
overall
far?
positive. I would recommend it.
Oh, yeah, good,
Yeah.
good,
If
good.
Shout out to
anyone's
Taylor.
wondering,
We love you.
Taylor,
Shout out.
best wife there is. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, good. I'm
Yeah.
glad that by default.
Yeah.
Good deal, man. Rylee, what you got going on?
I also have a lot going on.
Yeah. Did you get married?
Yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna say.
No,
Surprise.
we'll talk about that later in our
Okay.
conversations.
All right.
No, but I recently just got a new job
Ooh.
with a nonprofit called Yes, which is Youth Equipped to Succeed. So I am
awesome.
ending an era at Chick-fil-A.
Wow.
And
How many years?
6.
6 years.
6 years.
long time.
3 years of management.
You started working there when you were 10?
Ooh,
No?
a few years later than that.
Kidding.
Kidding. No. But no, I've been working there for 6 years. I've been a manager for 3. And then the rest, I was just a team member. Learned a lot of leadership skills, but kind of moving in a different direction that the Lord has for my life. And I'm really excited.
Let's go.
Yeah.
What are you going to miss about managing a Chick-fil-A?
I would probably say like the people aspect. Like I have gotten to know so many customers over the years that come every morning. So just like seeing them and like them knowing me and me knowing them,
Yeah.
it's just gonna be like it's bittersweet for sure. Like my last day is Saturday, so like it's just gonna be really bittersweet because I go to work every day working with these people. So like it's like
Yeah.
an everyday like I see you. So
Yeah.
it's just gonna be a little bit of a change, but change is good.
Dang.
It's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's wild. I do not have a managerial mind whatsoever. And so that is it's an interesting part of, I imagine, what your world must have been like.
I think it's also easy because like our like managing staff is huge. So like you're not in it alone. Like you're a part of a team. You get to learn different styles of how people like I'm more of the goofy manager.
Really?
Really.
You're the fun substitute.
Yeah, I guess I'm the
That
fun
helps.
substitute.
Okay.
Yeah. That doesn't take the grades.
Yeah. Well, we got some happies and crappies happening today. Rylee, while we have you, tell me what's been happy about your week, and then if you got something, what's been crappy? What's been going on?
I think I don't like know actually. I don't know if there's really necessarily. Actually, I lied. So, a happy is I got in the mail an SEU Seacoast acceptance thing that like a
Ooh.
yard sign. So I'll be starting at SEU in the fall online.
Okay,
So I'm super excited about it and just to start back with like my education, and then crappies. I don't think I really have anything.
Rylee, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, I'm super
Congrats.
excited. I haven't been in school for a really long time, so like I'm nervous for that part, but like I'm excited to take the next step in getting my education.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you're looking to do ministry?
Yes, ministerial leadership is it going to be what I'm looking at, and I would like to work with nonprofits that are within a church or within a Christian environment, which is what's crazy about this new job is because like it's along those lines.
Yeah.
So like I can start getting that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, that is cool.
It's really cool.
And no crappies?
No crappies.
That's good. That's good. That's what we hope for.
Yeah.
David, what you got?
Well, something that turned out to be a big happy, I would say. It wasn't something I was necessarily looking forward to, but on, I think it was like Thursday of last week, Taylor, my wife, came up to me and was like, I have an idea for what we're going to do on Friday, which is our day off and usually our Sabbath day that we like to not do too much. And so I was like, okay, well, what is it? And she said, have you heard of Wes Anderson? And I was like, oh my, don't tell me, babe, we can't be doing this. And I had never heard of Wes Anderson until a week ago, ago today. So last Tuesday was the first
Same because of
mention.
Jess.
Yes, exactly. And so just to mess with her, I started calling him Wes Matthews, who was a basketball player. And so I'd be like, does Wes Matthews make movies? And anyways, that's a dumb joke. But so it turns out on Friday, she wanted to do this Wes Anderson thing, social media trend, and we did it. And it was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And she enjoys like making the video part of it and everything.
Dude, she's good at it.
She is good at it.
That video was so
That makes
impressive.
me love Taylor even more.
Yeah.
Just because she came up with that idea. That's awesome.
For those listening at home, David and Taylor have the most like opposite, I would say, in a lot of ways, personalities.
Yes.
And she just brings out a really fun side of you that
She
I feel
does.
like you obviously work in church, so you don't partake in any substances that alter your personality.
That's right.
But I would say Taylor is in a
She
way
may be
that
that
substance.
substance.
I
You
was about
know?
to say, are you calling her a substance?
No, she loosens you up a little
She
bit.
does.
It's
Actually,
fun.
Pastor Ben walked by my office earlier today and was like, you would have never done that before you met Taylor. And he is exactly right. I would have never done that before I met Taylor.
Stepping out of your comfort zone.
I'm trying to. So that was that was fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And we got to play basketball. So
That video did numbers
Yeah.
too. Y'all were actually haven't checked up on it in a while, but
Y'all are going
it was-
famous.
they're going viral over here.
I wouldn't say that, but it was a good time.
That's
it was
cool.
very enjoyable. So, and we ended up having a very good Friday, Sabbath day, like no work. So that all around Friday was a happy for me.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
Good day. And then for the crappy side of things, so Thursday night we went to the Allen Outlet Mall.
Oh,
And so on Saturday, when I heard about the shooting that happened there,
Yeah.
that was like wild.
so crazy.
Honestly,
Yeah.
yeah, like kind of scary even.
Yeah.
And because we had actually thought about going on Saturday, which made it even, don't
Oh
even want
my
to think
word.
about that. But
Yeah.
anyways, very sad and scary and just really devastating for the people involved. So anyways, not to
No,
bring a
that's
damper on things, but
for
that was
real,
that was
though.
not a good. Yeah, didn't enjoy hearing that.
no, that was
Yeah.
crazy to see. Like, this is gonna sound well. Okay, I get like a notification from my mom saying that there's like. At first, I thought it was just a shootout, which is terrible either way.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
like amongst two people.
Yeah.
You know, and my mom, like, you know, sent me like a picture of that, and I was just like, oh dang, like that's bad. But
Yeah.
you know, hopefully, like it gets resolved. It looks
Right,
like just a
right.
civilian affair. Like, but then it found out it wasn't a shootout. It was actually I don't know the details, but
I
like,
don't
a
know
proper, like,
much, but yeah.
people. I mean, that was crazy to see that was like right here.
I know.
Yeah.
Allen, I mean,
It was so
how
cool.
many
We've gone
times
there
have you gone-
together.
Yes,
We've
you
gone
and
there
I have gone
together,
to the
yes.
Allen Outlet.
Yeah.
You got
Like,
some
just
New American
weird.
Eagle jeans.
I did, yeah.
So did I. They don't. Yeah, anyway, but yeah, that was crazy to think that happened. Something like that happened right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was wild.
It was.
That was wild. Obviously, yeah. I was gonna say to call it a crappy is a little bit of an understatement,
Yeah,
but
it is no good. No good at all.
yeah. For me, a happy was, well, I can say this now.
Tell
I
us.
don't want to keep
Tell
flaunting it,
us.
but
Tell
my
us,
fiance's
Andy.
Tell us.
family was in town for the week,
That's
and we got to hang out
fun.
with them all week, which was a lot of fun. It's funny because the first time I met all of them in one spot, because one of her sisters lives in Florida, the other one lives with her parents. But the first time I met all of them, we were in, it was on Christmas Day, like the most intimate like setting ever
Yeah.
to meet like your girlfriend's family. And so having them here in Dallas, like and like being able to show them around,
Yeah.
you know, my neighborhood, like my city, was really cool, and it just kind of gave you that extra level of confidence. And then also like seeing both of our families interact together for like the first time, like all of us together. They came over to my parents' house for dinner, and it was just so good. Like it was something that I had been hoping for a long time. Is that like, you know, I found someone whose family really gets along with mine, and just seeing that, and they were just so similar. Like our parents. Like my parents are almost the Brazilian version of her parents. So it was really fun to see that. So that was a happy for me for sure. Let's see. I think a crappy was probably it's not a huge thing, but I was like set to play acoustic this Sunday at church, and then just volunteer issue. Had to go fill in for someone last minute canceling. It just kind of stunk.
Yeah.
More so because I had to put the worship team in a annoying position. But
Yeah.
not a huge deal. Not a huge deal. I honestly, it was a big relief because practicing, I'm pretty bad about procrastinating. As you two experienced this week, I had been telling these guys that I was going to tell them what was happening this episode, and literally waited till
texted you
today.
last night, and you didn't even
I
text me
ignored the
back.
text.
You were like, I was like, cool.
I'm sorry.
I said, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll show up tomorrow and hit record, baby, because here's what's happening next. We have a little segment called Rylee Brad's Really Bad Movie
Oh,
Review.
let's go.
All right? And this is the time in our show where Rylee Bradford, I took the D out of your name. Rylee Bradford gives us a movie review on a movie she has not actually watched.
Yes.
Rylee, what is today's movie?
The movie is called Air.
Okay.
Air.
Take it away.
Air. Honestly, Air Jordan, like the shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're watching the movie, like you automatically think that it's going to be a shoe movie.
Yeah, right.
And
Because that's the first thing I think of when I think of Air is the Jordans.
Yeah, definitely
and then-
not like breathing or
Oxygen.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but also like you think of wind.
Uh-huh.
So like maybe flying.
Okay. Windmill, there's also a
Yeah.
move in basketball too.
Yeah. I've never heard of that
The
one.
windmill dunk?
It's a
Is
dunk,
it
yeah.
whenever
Yeah.
are you like flailing your arms in the air?
Maybe if you tried the windmill, that's what it would look like.
Oh,
but-
okay. Yeah. Well,
Zing!
I'm pretty sure I'm in this movie then. So, but no, I think that that is definitely like just Air Jordan, the shoes, the basketball player, like it's all in the realm, and it's just taking us through the life of Air Jordan.
Cool.
That was good.
Very
That was good,
cool.
yeah.
Anything else?
No,
Who's it starring?
Ben Affleck,
And what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Ben Affleck?
the Affleck commercial
I'm not familiar.
with the duck.
What about the duck?
You're really trying to get me to Affleck.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
That was something.
That was something.
That was something. What do you want to? Have you watched this Air movie yet?
I have not.
Do you want to watch it now?
What are your thoughts?
Well, based off of what Rylee said, it sounds pretty exhilarating.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I feel like there's just going to be so many factors going into this movie that like you're just not going to want to miss.
Yeah, totally. Oh man, that is.
Ducks, basketball, and shoes.
I'm thrilled.
What was your overall impression? Was it good?
It was pretty good.
Okay.
The duck was kind of loud, but you know, just the whole Affleck thing with Ben. You know.
Yeah, Ben Affleck.
Yeah, Ben's Affleck.
What? How many stars do you give it?
Probably a good 3.
Oh, good. That was
Kinda
that's
middle
what
of
I
the
was
pack.
hoping.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty
Having
average.
watched it, that's what I would have
Pretty average.
done too. Good. Well, thank you guys. That was Rylee Brad's really bad
Really bad.
movie review.
very, very bad.
You guys, I don't ever set up Rylee well for those segments.
He
I'm
does
just
not.
like, pick a movie that you've not watched and then tell us about it, and you roll with the punches.
Yes.
So well done.
Off the
Well done.
dome.
That was really good, Rylee. Thank you for that.
My pleasure.
Well, I'm enjoying this conversation with you guys so far. We're just getting started. This, what we're doing here, is something that I think a lot of people our age, some are really good at it. A lot of them have a really, really hard time with conversation.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm probably one of them sometimes.
Which is very ironic since you host a podcast.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. No, but I think genuinely, like, conversation is something that I think young adults, like, there are some that you just bump into and they're super charismatic and they could, like, you know, be on the Tonight Show, but like we all serve in our young adults like team here on Tuesday nights. And we know that like our service usually it starts at 7:15 and we'll be out in the lobby. Tell me what happens, David. What happens?
I will tell you what happens.
So you're the one. So David is over like lobby teams, all of the people that serve like in the lobby experience.
Yeah.
Like he's our man.
So we have our dream team rally at 6:35. That usually ends like 6:45. We walk out into the lobby and there's no one there.
What's
Absolutely
the dream team
not.
rally?
Dream team rally is where our volunteers, our dream teamers gather. We just talk real quick, make sure we're all on the same page for that night.
Yeah.
I usually try to say something of value. Sometimes I don't.
You
but
usually do.
I try.
Let's bring it all
Always.
in.
And then close it out with let's bring it all in. We break it down. 3, 2, 1. Dream team.
Yeah.
And we go out to the lobby. And there's typically no one out there.
Yeah.
Usually people don't show up until after 7 o'clock, which is the time we say we start.
Yeah.
Which we don't start, like you said, until 7:15 technically. But even at 7 o'clock, there's very few people.
They're
in the
avoiding any interaction.
avoiding conversation, you
Yeah.
could say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Just
Yeah.
no one out there.
Why? I mean, why would they ever want to not talk to us? I think we're super like fun to talk to and really cool.
Some of us.
I know. No, 100%. It's an interesting, like, if you just, I think we've gotten maybe a little used to it, but like when
Yeah.
you really think about it, it's like
Yeah.
people would rather sit in their cars for 30 minutes, 20 minutes with either by themselves, which this is not me coming at anybody or judging like whatsoever. I get it. I get the thought process.
Yeah.
Like this is 100% us just assessing the situation. Like
Yeah.
there is something there, right? Like people would rather sit in their cars and either scroll through Instagram or like TikTok or hang out with whoever they came with and they're comfortable being with, than they would go into an environment that has someone new to talk to and like someone that they could be engaging with conversation. Like in conversation, you pretty much like, I feel like you unlock, if you have good conversation with someone, especially a new person, like for one, that's usually can be like the best surprise ever. Is like you, and then that feels like you unlock a whole world of experiences and like like I don't know, it just becomes this big like concoction of like, whoa, like I didn't know that. I learned something new about this person or about this person's experience, and like you gain perspective and a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting that like people, I don't know what it is, if it's fear or anxiety or just would rather not be bothered. I get all of it. So I'm just like, it's just interesting to think about.
I think there's a lot of things that go into it. Like I remember the first time I came to young adults.
Yeah.
And I was one of the people that sat in my car for 30 minutes.
Totally.
Just because like, one, it was my first time. And I think that what we've seen in the past 6 months is like, we have a lot of people that are new coming in.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think like, are they like me who are scared that they're going to walk in and not find anyone to have a conversation with?
Right.
And luckily my person was Rachel. She was the first person I had a conversation with. So like that, like Rachel stewarded that opportunity really well to have a conversation and get to know me.
Yeah.
So like, I think that it's also like, it's on us sometimes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder if like, are we stewarding those moments well?
Yeah.
And making them feel like, hey, like you don't have to sit in your car for 30 minutes. Like maybe the conversation might be awkward for a few minutes, but we can get somewhere with an awkward conversation.
Yeah.
Like it's possible.
Sorry to cut you off, Rylee. I think that what you just said, though, is something that we fear. We fear, like, not just taking it outside of North Place Young Adults, to just Gen Z, our age bracket, young adults in general.
Yeah.
We fear the awkward.
Oh, for sure.
Like, we're terrified of not knowing what to say, and I'm there. Like, I'm with you, because I fear that as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's a hindrance to having conversation, that we just don't want the awkward, now what do I talk about now?
Yeah.
You know, like the awkward silence there for a second. And if there is a silence, then
what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do? And what can I say to get out of the conversation or spark some other conversation?
Yeah.
So I think a part of it, at least, maybe not a big part, but some portion of it is a fear of it turning awkward in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, and it probably will get awkward.
Yeah. I mean, that's like
9
the nature
times out
of
of 10.
relationship.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, there is bound to be something awkward.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like like the golden rule, right? Like we all know it to be the golden rule, but like really it's the words of Jesus: do unto others what you want to be done to you. And we have a saying around young adults. It's like, I think a lot of people say it, but you want a friend, be a friend, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like too many of us are waiting for someone to be a friend to us and to approach us, which I totally get it. If you're like in a brand new environment and like you want to meet people and you want to be seen, like even if that's not like your initial, like on the forefront of your mind, everyone, like if you're in a social setting, like you know that deep down you want to connect with someone. We're made for connection, right? And so I feel like when you're in that setting and you're hoping to connect with somebody, like if this is your first time there, then obviously you hope that someone's coming up to you. Because that's the polite thing. If you're a guest anywhere, you know, you want to be kind of taken care of. You hope to be taken care of, or you're going to take to yourself more often than not. There are very few, I would say, people who are just like going to show up into a new place and then like immediately assert themselves and be like, "What's going on, everybody? Hey, my name's so and so."
Even the most outgoing people, I would say, for a general rule, probably.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm a very outgoing person, and sometimes like that's hard for me.
Oh, yeah.
I think it also just like depends on the atmosphere.
Absolutely.
And I think that sometimes we get caught even in conversations, like even when we say want a friend, be a friend.
Yeah.
That what happens when we find that friend and then we see another person.
Yeah.
Like, are we just going to stay in the same conversation over and over, or do we want to pull someone into that?
Yeah.
Into that conversation and into that community. And
Yeah.
I think that's on my mind a lot. And just like, I wonder what it's like walking in now,
Yeah.
seeing all these conversations happen, and they're like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I feel awkward.
Yeah.
But like, the awkward feelings are okay. Like,
Yeah.
they're okay to have.
Totally. I think, like to that thought on the golden rule, like it's a proactive command. Like
Yeah.
Jesus told us to not like, what it's a like, you must do what you want done to be. What
Yeah.
you like, don't like, it's not don't do unto others what you don't want done to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a proactive, like, do unto others. So if you wish someone would come up to talk to you, like,
That's good.
then like,
That
are
is good.
you going and doing that to somebody? But
It's not reciprocating what gets given to you.
Yeah.
It's doing what you would like before anyone else does anything that you would like them to do to you. if that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Did I say that
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
It's not a reciprocating
I just had to,
thing.
like-
It's something that you do first,
Yeah.
and then it kind of is what it is at that point.
Yeah.
You can control what you can control.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I think obviously everyone listening has their people, and like, and they have the people that they know they can connect with and all that. But like, it's just like, it's good to remember, like, everyone's probably just as afraid as you are
Yeah.
of awkwardness. Like, I can't tell you how many times I'm out in the lobby and I'm like, maybe trying to like walk around. So this is exposing myself real good right now, but maybe walk around and keep myself busy. so that like, because I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes like I either feel like I don't, for whatever reason, have time to get deep into conversation, or like I also get like, I feel guilty sometimes for letting conversations feel too shallow. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, it's always this weird balance. This is specifically in a church context, like,
Yeah.
but maybe you run into this at work or wherever you are, like, where you just kind of have to find this balance of like, is it time to go deeper, or like, or is this like, we kind of like almost have a handful of people that we just know we're gonna go through the motions
Yeah.
with, like the same 5 phrases to greet
Yeah.
them and the same 5 phrases to say bye. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
and so it's just it's a thing that I think a lot of us run into, and just like, I don't know, being afraid of connecting with people. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
interesting.
I think probably another challenge that we're faced with, and this is just my opinion, could be wrong, but that we're pretty used to conversing online,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and not even real conversation, but
Yeah.
just the back and forth of a friendship online or someone that you meet online. And it's just harder. And I'm the online campus pastor, and sometimes
Literally.
it's just harder.
Yeah.
Not always, but often it's harder to connect with someone online, especially when you're trying to go deeper into a relationship.
Yeah.
And so I would say part of our problem as a generation of making meaningful and deep connections and relationships is because we're faced with a social media world where
Yeah.
Yeah.
connection often takes place online, and it can tend to lead to shallow or not even really good relationships or connections or conversations.
Yeah.
I also think about like, even within like the past few years, like we had COVID, like there was lockdowns, like literally the only way to get in contact with people that you're friends with or family like was through social media or text message or something like that. And I'm like, is it time to like shift it, and we have to retrain ourselves to be able to have a conversation face to face?
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask y'all this question because I genuinely wonder what y'all think. But like, do y'all think a conversation always has to be 50-50, like to be life-giving?
That's a good question.
Because I mean, you think of friendships,
Yeah.
and you're like, you put into a friendship as much as you want to get out, and but like if that person's not giving you the same amount then like how is it working?
Yeah.
So like would you put that same context into like having a conversation with a day-to-day or
Right.
I have a thought.
Yeah.
I think my wedding ring just fell off my
just
hand.
fell off.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
have a bad habit of just playing with it. Like,
it's new?
anyways, it's new. I'll get it in a minute. Now, what was I gonna say? My goodness.
You have a thought.
I had a thought, and I can't remember.
It's
Andrew,
okay.
you want to go?
I'll go, and then
And then
you
come back to me.
You go find your wedding ring. My thought is probably not as profound as what David would have said, but I think it just depends on the dynamic of you and the person. I think if you're talking to someone, and maybe this is a lot of times what we're afraid of is not having something clever to say. Or, dude, I run into that on this podcast all the time. Like, it's just like, I feel like the most enjoyable stuff to listen to, and the reason why people like listening to podcasts is because they like to listen to organic conversation.
Yeah.
Right. But like, I think people are looking for that, but they just don't know often like how to do it. And so it just depends. I think sometimes I'll be I'll be in a social setting, and I'll go up to someone who kind of maybe looks like they're just chilling there, to just kind of hanging on their own. I'll start talking to them, and they'll give me short answers, and I'll maybe try to like prod a little bit just to kind of keep it respectfully, right? But you know, keep asking questions, either they're going to start to open up and feel valued and feel seen, or they're going to shut down even more. And if I feel the shutdown, then I'll leave them alone. Say, you know,
it's like a situational thing.
Absolutely. But I think with friends and with close people, like, you definitely want a reciprocal conversation where both people are fully invested in what's happening, and hearing each other, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's like, we just want to be understood and known. And that's the value of conversation, I think, is most. And there's a thing too, and this is why I think digital communication is good in a lot of ways, but is harming our connection with other people so much, is because so much communication, if not like the majority of communication, happens subconsciously through body language, right? Like, so much connection happens that way. Like, that's pre-verbal even. That goes back to when we were babies, right? We were all at a training yesterday, and that's what one of the speakers we're talking about is like just the connection of like an infant looking at its mother's eyes. Like, it starts there, right? And so like eye contact and like even down to like God is so wild in the way he creates, but like even down to pheromones and like you subconsciously sense the like hormones that the person releases when they're around either someone that's that they are really fond of or that they don't like. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you sense it. That when we say, oh, I don't vibe with that person, we kind of like have a Gen Z way of talking about it. But deep down, it's like, well, there's actually might be something there. You know what I mean? And now you can't make every judgment call on that. But but I think there's so much value, if not, it's the most valuable communication is in person, in conversation, looking at somebody, you know what I mean, and communicating that way. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, but do you remember?
I remember what I was going to say.
Let's go. What's your thought?
Well, to answer, I think your original question was...
what do you think that conversations need to be like 50-50?
Yeah. So I think I 100% agree with Andrew, especially on like the actual friendship. When you form a friend, I think that relationship looks different than it would someone who you run into on occasion.
Yeah. Which would be, then it would turn into like situational.
Yeah, yeah. And I think in those situations, oftentimes it's not a bad thing to do more listening than you do talking.
Yeah.
And if what you're saying 50-50 is the communication, the actual talking, then I would say that it doesn't need to be 50-50.
Yeah.
Especially if it's someone like, I don't know, someone you admire or look up to, or just someone who you hope to glean from, like, probably don't let that be a 50-50 conversation.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
more asking questions than you do sharing your own opinion, and do more listening than you do talking.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing, especially
Yeah.
in like just culturally, we always want to give our opinion and give our take and
Totally.
share what we think's the truth. A lot of times we don't have the answers, and especially when we're as
Yeah.
younger people, like we need those conversations to be less than 50 on our end and more than 50 on their end.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and in those conversations, you might, thank you, because
problem.
it was just dropping. I was like, but in those conversations, I feel like you can gain wisdom and understanding, especially if it's life-giving.
Yeah.
And it's like just full of like what's going on,
Yeah.
like in the conversation. But also another thought that I had was in like the realm of like conversations, because usually when we think conversations, we think of conversations with another person.
Yeah.
But even in the realm of conversations with ourselves, like if we're not having like life-giving conversations with ourselves and like speaking words of life, like in our thoughts and
good.
just like in our words, like we aren't ever going to be able to have that like that meaningful conversation with someone new, someone that's a friend, like different things. And
Yeah.
I think that it's good to not only evaluate the conversations that you have with other people, but I think that it's good to evaluate the conversations that you have with yourself
Yeah.
and that you have with the Lord.
Yeah.
Because that's where like your faith builds up. That's where wisdom and understanding comes from. So like I feel like that's good to kind of like lean into whenever you're going into a conversation with a friend or with someone that's walking in, no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
Because like you never know, you might be in the grocery store, like, and it's gonna come out of nowhere, and then you're having a conversation like left and right,
Yeah.
and you learn something new about someone that you never thought you would have learned.
Yeah.
But it's because you have like that open mind and the open ears and the eyes and everything just to see what's actually in front of you whenever you're speaking to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so good. I think like a lot of people are afraid. Were you gonna say something? Did I cut you off?
No, I had a thought. But,
Bring it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Well,
good.
I had two thoughts actually.
Do it.
Because first, I did not know where you were going with that, Rylee. I thought you were going to say, because you said not with another person. I thought, are you going to talk to animals? Or I didn't know what was. But I loved your answer. Your self-talk and your talk with God. That's great.
Yeah.
I think I recently heard, it was Mark Batterson talking about his book, Please, Sorry, Thanks. It's a good book. But he was referencing Albert Einstein, who kind of coined the term holy curiosity. And so Batterson was talking about that phrase, holy curiosity. I don't know why it's so hard for me to say.
Tongue twister.
Curiosity. In relation to conversation and
Yeah.
to relationships, and how as people we need to have a holy curiosity for other people
Yeah.
and what they do, and that will lead us, I think, to having better conversations.
For sure.
And because it is a curiosity and because it's holy, I think that leads itself to being not superficial, genuine, sincere conversations because you care about people and you love people.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'll just throw that phrase out there, holy curiosity. I thought
Yeah,
it was cool.
that's good.
Yeah.
I have no idea what Albert Einstein was talking about when he coined that, but
I was like, where
he
did
was the one who
Albert
made it up,
Einstein come in?
yeah.
No, I love the thought about like if we're approaching people for conversation out of love, like and out of a desire to love them the way Jesus would, like it's almost like you're kind of like you have like a shovel almost, and you're trying to dig and find get as far through the surface level as you can without being weird. Jesus
Yeah.
wasn't weird, right?
Yeah.
Some people associate being more like Jesus to be weirder, and that's just not. Jesus, the more like God he became, the more human he was, you know,
Yeah.
and so in a non-weird but like Christ-like way, approaching someone and trying to get through the surface, right? Sometimes that we start on surface, right? Like anything else, you start on surface, but then you get deeper, and I think that starts with love, right? You have to love the person and genuinely want to know what's happening, right? And if you're not at that place, then either get somewhere and refocus and get in that place, or refrain from connecting with people. But but genuinely loving someone and wanting to know, like, you'd be surprised how people come alive when you ask them about themselves, when you ask them about what they want to do in life, like what their dream is. That's one of my favorite things to ask people, is like, when I'm getting to know someone, it's like, what's the dream? Like what like would be the best thing in the world if you were able to accomplish it. And like, you never know what they're gonna say, but like what I've experienced when I've asked that is seeing like light come to people's eyes, and like their eyes get like full of life and so excited to say what they want out of life. And you can take away so much from what someone wants out of life, because it just gives you something to go off of, right? And you're able to like connect with them in that way. And I think that's the way Jesus approached people, is like, he asked them questions. He was always asking questions about them. And based on their response, he would go somewhere with that. But like, I think we forget the power of questions, right? And like important questions. So it might start with, what's your name? And then like, what are you up to these days? Are you working, school? Okay. Like, and then you just keep going, and then obviously asking the Holy Spirit along the way. Like we can't sleep on the power of like, Holy Spirit, I'm going to approach this person and talk to, like, give me words to speak. And like direction to go in, and like, I don't know, and then trusting that he'll do it. But
I think it's so cool. Honestly, I just think Jesus is so cool. And because I think about it sometimes, and I'm like, he had his time where like he would pray and like he would be like inward focused, but it was always an outward perspective, and like the people that were around him and the people that he encountered, like, and I just think of that as so cool, just because whenever he had no reason to look outward at the people that were in front of him, like, he still did it. And I wonder what it would be like to like implement more in our lives in conversations, instead of looking inward but looking outward to the person and what they're going through, or like the questions that they need to be asked.
Yeah. That's good.
It's really good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I think having an understanding of what helps in conversation is understanding that there's people, everyone who you encounter is going through something that you have no idea about, and that you probably never will have any idea about unless you're close with them. And I think that gives you a level of grace for what they say, the things that maybe come up in conversation, and that can enable you to love them no matter what, no matter how the conversation goes, or where the conversation leads, or how short-lived it is. Just knowing that they're a person and they've got things going on, and you need to have grace with them, and that the conversation doesn't have to be the best conversation you've ever had. It can just be a conversation with someone who may be hurting and needs to have that conversation.
Yeah. I love it. This is a good conversation, you guys.
It is.
I feel very connected to and seen and understood. So thanks for that.
Of course.
Amen.
Always.
Well, today, any closing thoughts on that?
I just, one thought that came to me when you were talking about
just now.
Just a couple minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not just now, but a couple minutes ago. Just the idea of asking questions and how important that can be, and how when people are talking about themselves, often that can open them up. And like you said, like it can be exciting for them if they don't have anything else to talk about. That sometimes people want to talk about themselves. And so for me, I don't even know who told me this years ago, but if I'm ever in a room or in a conversation with a leader or someone who I look up to and I don't know what to say, like one of my go-to questions, like what's your dream? Or what's the dream? For me, it's like, what are you passionate about? Like what's something right now that you're just abnormally passionate about,
Yeah.
because that'll get them talking. Like if you talk about someone's passions or ask them
That's
about
so
something
true.
that they're passionate about,
Yeah.
that they want to talk about that.
Yeah.
And so if you're listening and you find yourself in a conversation and you don't know what to say, ask them what they're passionate about, because oftentimes that can lead to good conversation. So
Yeah.
that's my only last thought.
That's really good.
And also, like, if you're not a very big, like, conversationalist,
Yeah.
I think that it's important to realize that it's okay not to say a lot.
Yeah.
And
Oh, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is because, like, I used to not, like, know what to say in conversations. Like, but now, as just being a part of, like, a leadership team, I've learned through a lot of different people just by them having conversations with me.
Yeah.
And like y'all said, like, what are questions that I can ask? Like, what are you passionate about? Like, where are you from? Like, tell me about your life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what are things that make you excited to come here
We
on
love
Tuesday
talking
night?
about ourselves.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fact.
Yeah.
But I think that it's cool to learn how to have conversations while also watching other people have conversations.
Yeah.
It's like people watching.
You know what? You just touched on something that I'm glad you did, because for those who aren't big talkers, for those who aren't super outgoing, like, dude, like, you are gifted
Yeah.
in being a strong presence that people feel seen and heard. Like that. A close friend of mine, like, I've had several conversations with him, and he just will tell me, like, man, I just feel like I'm like no fun at social gatherings or parties, and I just feel like, you know, I'm just awkward and I don't know where to go in the conversation, and like, just I feel like I'm no fun to talk to, essentially. And I'm like, bro, people like love you in social gatherings and in those settings because you are unapologetically yourself.
Yeah.
Most of the people that are like overtly talkative, and like sometimes that is them, and so I'm going to say that those there are definitely charismatic people who are, but there are sometimes people who put on to be over charismatic and like overly like talkative and trying really hard to connect with people, and like, and you can sniff that out really easily,
Yeah.
right? Anyone can. But the reason why a lot of people are drawn to like introverted people or people who aren't as like talkative or conversational is because those people are usually very real. Like those are probably some of the most like
Social batteries are real.
yeah, oh, they are.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But those are also the people that, for one, they're great listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, people feel very comfortable more often than not, like, sharing what's really going on, like,
Yeah.
under the surface with those people. Because they're not going to get some kind of, like, throwaway, like, cloudy comeback to what they're feeling and what they're saying. So this friend of mine, like, is always being confided to by other people. There's always people coming to him and
Yeah.
like how like asking him about stuff, about you know, advice, and like he gets put in these really cool positions where like, you know what I mean, like people feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
And so just that's all that to say, like, that if you're not naturally like gifted in just charisma and talking to people and like knowing what to say, then there's a great chance you're really gifted in listening and being a very solid and like firm presence for someone else to lean on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That just needs someone to listen to.
Yeah.
That's
them.
good.
So that's what anyway, yeah.
That was good.
That's good.
Yup.
Yup.
All right. Well, sweet, man. That's good. That was a good chat. Speaking of chat.
Uh-oh.
Not
Good
the
segue.
segue.
Yeah.
Not the segue.
We are gonna get a little visit from our good friend Chat GPT today.
Okay.
We have a fun segment that we're calling the AI Theater. What's happening in the AI Theater is I pull out my handy dandy Chat GPT AI app. I don't know what it's actually called. It's called AI Chat Power something. And I'm putting in a prompt, and it's going to give us a play for us to act out together.
Oh, wow.
This is gonna be so much
I
fun.
already have
Talk
one.
about stepping out of David's comfort zone.
I already have one that it's given me, and so I'm going to send it to you guys. I should have done this before, but I put in
I'm so scared.
I sent in a prompt, and I asked it to write a short play about two young adults. Here, wait, collaborate. Give me a second. Here it is. It's coming to you.
Are you airdropping it or sending it?
I'm sending it through my notes app. Hopefully that works. Did y'all get it?
No. You had to give it. Be patient.
Oh, there we go.
Did it send?
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. It says, write a short play about two young adults who are afraid of meeting new people, but overcome their fear by initiating a conversation with the lobby greeter at their church young adults group. Wait, what? Okay, I messed that up. A young adults group, and together learn the true meaning of friendship. David, that sounds right up your alley.
It does.
I
Yeah.
think
plays
that,
in general.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. David is very much a
I think
thespian.
this is more out of my
He
comfort
grew
zone.
up in doing all of his high school theatrical plays.
Church plays, though.
Actually,
yeah.
human videos.
Human videos, Christmas plays when I was growing up.
Did you ever get to play Jesus in the human videos?
Well, I was the pastor's son.
Oh yes.
Okay.
So, yes. Unfortunately, that was not my doing. But
Oh
anyways,
man.
yeah.
Wow. Did it keep you from a life of sin?
I
Did
think so,
Did it set
actually.
you up for your life as a
Yeah.
pastor now?
All of that time spent doing fake dances and performances. Yeah,
Oh
definitely.
man. Good. Well, you guys ready? We have 3 characters here. I can do the narrator voice, but I think Rylee would be great to play the lobby greeter, Sarah.
Okay.
Okay. I'll be Alex and you'll be Jordan.
Sound
good, David?
Sounds good.
Okay. We're going to read the breakdown of the characters here. Alex, a shy young adult who is afraid of meeting new people. This is all for free, guys, by the way. Just letting you know, like, we're going to give you guys some good tips and tricks for shy young adults coming to our young adults ministry, how to connect with people. I think this is going to serve as very helpful for everybody, okay? Alex, a shy young adult who is afraid of meeting new people. Jordan, Alex's best friend who is also afraid of meeting new people. And Sarah, the lobby greeter at their church's young adults gathering. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Setting, the lobby of a church during a young adults gathering. Great, thanks. Okay. This has three acts, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
Act 1. Alex and Jordan enter the lobby looking nervous and hesitant. They stand awkwardly by the door, scanning the room for familiar faces.
Do you see anyone we know?
No, I don't. Maybe we should just leave.
Yeah, you're right. Let's go.
Sarah notices the 2 young adults standing by the door and approaches them.
Hi there. Are you guys new here?
Yeah, we are.
We were just about to leave, actually.
Oh, don't leave just yet. I'm Sarah, the lobby greeter. It's my job to make sure everyone feels welcome here.
Really? That's so nice of you.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. What brings you guys here tonight?
Alex and Jordan start to relax as they chat with Sarah. Okay, so we ease up a little bit.
Good.
They realize that she is friendly and easy to talk to. Wow, clearly Rylee's acting right now.
Right.
Just
Yes.
kidding. That's so mean.
If you weren't going to say it, I was going to say
That
it.
was so rude. You know what?
Kidding. All right. Okay, here we go.
I quit.
Well, we heard about this young adults gathering and we thought we'd check it out.
Yeah, we're both pretty shy, and we don't really know how to meet new people, though.
I understand how you feel. It can be tough to put yourself out there sometimes.
Yeah, it really can be.
But you're making it easier for us.
I'm glad to hear that. You know, making new friends can be scary, but it can also be really rewarding.
Alex and Jordan start to feel more confident as they continue to talk to Sarah. They realize they have a lot in common and that they enjoy each other's company. I'm in character right now. You know, I never thought I'd be able to have a conversation with a stranger like this.
Yeah, me neither. But Sarah, you're really easy to talk to.
Thank you. You guys are pretty easy to talk to, too.
Do you think we could hang out sometime? Maybe grab coffee or something?
Yeah, we love that.
I'd like that too. It's always nice to make new friends.
Alex, Jordan, and Sarah exchange phone numbers and make plans to meet up again soon. You know, I never thought I'd be able to overcome my fear of meeting new people.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm glad we did it together.
Me too. That's what friendship is all about, right? Helping each other through our fears and challenges.
The three of them share a group hug as the lights fade to black. Wow.
Wow.
I hope everyone walked away with a renewed
good.
sense of friendship.
Yeah.
David, how'd that feel for
That
you?
was, I felt like I was just your sidekick. Like, I think I agreed with everything you said. Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, me. Yeah, it's so true.
But it was great though.
Okay.
I'm glad you did the laughing. You did, the more
I feel
outgoing.
like me and Sarah have a lot in common. My cheeks hurt now from smiling that
Yeah.
much, as the narrator said that I was smiling.
Let me
a
do
lot.
another one. I think this one might be me and David. Write a play about two guys trying to leave a conversation, but can't quite find, let's say, write a short play. Two guys trying to leave a conversation, but can't quite find a stopping point. What do you think? What do you think?
That's gonna be good.
Am I the narrator?
And it's really awkward. Let's see what it comes up with. Yeah, you'll be our narrator.
Okay.
Let's see what it comes up with. Should be
Cool.
pretty quick. If not, then either we'll cut this short or we will end it on the last one. Let's see what we got here. Wow. Okay. All right. This play is called The Awkward Exit. That's so good. What? That is such a good title. Wow.
We
I
needed to
would've-
come up with our sermon titles.
Yeah.
honestly, dude.
At least mine. I can
That's
never come
actually
up with a
a
good one.
really
That's-
good idea. Like,
yeah.
not the whole sermon,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
definitely
could
not.
definitely use this. I'm going to put it in the same note that we put the other one. So it might take a while to load. Again, this play is called The Awkward Exit.
The awkward exit.
Here we go. I haven't read through it yet, so if it's really terrible, then let me know once it shows up for you.
Okay, got it.
Did you get it, Rylee?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Rylee, break down the characters and the setting for us. Please.
Okay, the
See play.
characters are Tom, a friendly guy who loves to talk, Mike, Tom's acquaintance who is trying to leave the conversation. So I think that Tom should be David.
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to switch it up.
Yeah.
Tom is going to be David, and then
I like
Andrew
that.
is going to be Mike, Tom's acquaintance.
All right,
Okay, I
all
love
right.
that.
Sounds good.
I love that. Okay.
Okay, setting, a coffee shop.
All right.
Act 1, action.
Well, what's happening in Act 1?
Oh, Tom and Mike are sitting at a table in a coffee shop, sipping their drinks. Tom is talking animatedly about his recent trip to Europe.
And then we went to Paris, and let me tell you, the Eiffel Tower is even more amazing in person.
Nodding.
Yeah, I bet it was.
And then we went to Rome, and the food there was just incredible. Have you ever been to Italy?
Shaking his head.
No, I haven't.
Excitedly.
You should definitely go. I can give you some recommendations if you would like.
Smiling weakly.
Thanks. It's really nice of you.
Mike starts to feel trapped in the conversation and wants to leave, but can't find a good stopping point.
Oh, wow. Is that the time already?
Oh, yeah, it is. I didn't realize we've been talking for so long.
Yeah, I should probably get going soon.
Where are you headed?
Just some errands I need to run.
Ah, I see. Well, it was great catching up with you.
Yeah, it's nice seeing you too.
Mike tries to make a break for it, but Tom keeps finding new things to talk about.
Well, I should really get going.
Oh, sure. But before you go, have you heard about this new restaurant that just opened?
No, I haven't.
It's supposed to be amazing. We should definitely go and check it out sometime.
Yeah, it
together.
sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, great. Well, let me just tell you a little bit more about it.
Mike looks around the coffee shop, hoping for a distraction. He spots a friend walking by outside and waves frantically.
What? Hey, isn't that my friend over there?
Oh, yeah, I think it is.
I should go say hi. It was nice seeing you, Tom.
Yeah, you too. We'll have to catch up again sometime soon.
Mike rushes out of the coffee shop, relieved to finally escape the conversation.
I guess he was in a hurry. Oh, well, I'll have to tell him more about that restaurant next time.
Oh, man.
That's kind of sad.
Well, it was just kind of lame. That one was not what I was hoping it would be.
It's okay, Joe. Can you cut that?
That is one thing Chat GPT has a hard time is humor. That's all I got for today. You guys, what are y'all up to after today? Just chilling?
Chilling.
I'm teaching at Growth Track.
Oh.
I'm excited for it, though. It's our beliefs, step 2. Should be good.
You'll see some of my family.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Online campus.
Online campus.
Shout out. Any closing words? Any closing thoughts from anybody in the jury?
I don't think so.
Keep on keeping on. Okay, me
Keep
neither.
on keeping on.
Thanks for stopping by, y'all. This has been the On My Way podcast.
That's right.
We'll catch you next time.
Peace.
Bye.